Crush the serpent, trample the dragon.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to the New Times program. Those of you tuning in live on Nice Radio, those of you viewing live right now via the New Democratic Party social media platform on Facebook and YouTube, we welcome you to the New Times program. And as always, on a Wednesday, we're joined by the chairman of the NDP. He's also the elected representative for the constituency of West Kingstown, the Honorable Daniel Cummings, is here with us on the program. Mr. Cummings, good day and welcome to the New Times program.
Good day to you, Colin, and thank you very much for having me on the program. I want to say a very special greetings to all of the people of West Kingstown whom I have the privilege to represent in the Parliament. I spoke with my colleague from the Southern Grenadines, Terence Oliver, a while ago. He is undergoing some work in his own constituency and may find it possible to be in touch with us at some stage during the program today. I haven't heard from my other parliamentary colleague, Fitz Bramble, who was on another radio program doing a marvelous job this morning. And, you know, today is his constituency day, so I'm not sure if he's going to join the program, but we shall see. And of course, my dear friend from your constituency of East St. George, Colin Laverne, when it's possible, joins us on a Wednesday. So happy to be on the program today. Colin, just to let viewers know and those who may be seeing this broadcast, my attire is not normal. I'm in the kitchen today. I am in the process of doing some roti. I haven't done it in quite a while, but I got some conch from the Southern Grenadines, so that got me into the mood. So I'm doing some conch roti this morning. So please excuse my attire and the need to run backward and forward. But most of it is out of the way already. Just in case you smell anything,
Well done, well done. Well, I know where to pass when I finish work today.
You got it.
All right. Well, it's always a pleasure having you here on the program, Mr. Chairman. And I always permit you to give whatever special greetings you want to give first before we go into whatever might be the talking points that you want to discuss today. I know there was an important activity held by the New Democratic Party in your constituency over the weekend. I know you attended that and you may want to touch on that too as well. So again, it's over to you for your opening remarks and statements here on the program.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Colin. So much is happening in St. Vincent and the Grenadines under the direction of Dr. Friday and the New Democratic Party. A number of positive developments. And as always, I like to begin with my own constituency. For the last several weeks and continuing, I am on an all-out drive to visit every single home in the constituency. I have finished most of Edinburgh and Otley Hall. And yesterday I did some work in the Upper New Montrose area. That would continue today and the rest of this week, of course, weather permitting. I just want to thank the team, marvelous team, mainly of ladies who journey with me every day, who are on this journey of faith, believing in people and working towards the good of all the people of West Kingston. I just want to thank them sincerely for their tremendous spirit, their drive that keeps me going. And to all of the constituents whom we encounter, whether you support the New Democratic Party or not, as I go through the constituency, I am very pleased with the audience that I get. Even those who are holding on to the ULP would express to you their bitter disappointment in their party, and in a very cordial way would express their wish that the New Democratic Party would take the reins of governance in this country, because they have to admit that their party has failed them and the rest of this country. And that is the sentiment you get throughout West Kingstown. And with walking with Dr. Friday and the others in different parts of the country, you get the same sentiments. And I say to everybody, This country belongs to all of us, and you have a right, yes, to choose what party you want to support, but always bear in mind what is good for the country. It's not just about what an individual has to get from a particular party. It's how, as a team, we can move the country to a better standard of living. It's how we can lift our people out of poverty. It's how we could find employment for more of our people, especially our young people who have the highest percentage of unemployment ever in this country under the so-called government. So I just want again, Colin, to recognize all of the people of West Kingstown who greet us well and who express their opinions frankly and genuinely. And I am so blessed to be part of this movement for change, for positive change in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So today I'm continuing, weather permitting, of course, and this month of March has started out beautifully for the farmers with respect to the rain. I hope it continues because we are threatened with a prolonged dry season this year. So it's an excellent opportunity for farmers to use the kinds of rains that we're having now, particularly since it is not the torrential downpour, but rather the slow, steady rainfall, which allows a greater percentage of the rain to infiltrate into the soil and for a lot of it to be stored. So that is excellent rain, and we pray that that will continue and that the dry season this year would not be as devastating as it is predicted to be. Good luck to all the farmers. And we know that the New Democratic Party would soon be in government to make arrangements possible for you to know when you grow your crops that you have a guaranteed market at a fair market price. But that is coming. Colin, as you indicated, on the weekend in Montrose at the Nutrition Netball Center, the New Democratic Party was engaged in an exercise of tremendous importance. We know that Dr. Friday launched the youth initiative some time ago, guaranteeing the young people an opportunity for work and or training. And akin to this, we launched the program for athletes who reach a standard to be determined, to be guaranteed that the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines will fund their development in sports. This, to me, is a most important initiative. It takes away the hassle. When a young lady, as recently seen on Caribbean Sports, literally crying for the difficulty she's been through for so many years, but exerting this amount of talent, yet finding no support from the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And when it takes a program on Sports Max to stir a government to reach out to members of the business community to support this young lady, it makes you want to cry. Because the question is, had she not gone on Sportsmax, what, if anything, would have happened? We are saying that is not acceptable. This lady clearly has made the mark a long time ago that makes her deserving of assistance from the state to make sure that her athletics dreams can become a reality. Colin, when people like Vivian Richards and Sir Garfield Sobers played cricket and other sports personalities, Guy Lowe, as a classic example, played such brilliant football representing St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The sports was not in those days looked at as a profession. And so there was not much financial returns. Nowadays, that has changed, and that has changed dramatically. No matter what the sports, tennis, soccer, American football, basketball, athletes become multimillionaires in a short space of time. And there is a whole world of opportunity for people in sports, from coaches, administrators, professional sports people, to make a very decent living and to contribute to the development of our country. A lot of these sporting personalities have used their resources to invest back in their homeland. We know of people like a Donald Foyle in the Southern Grenadines, for example, who loves the Southern Grenadines where he comes from and is doing his own thing in so many ways. So sporting is not just something for us to sit down and enjoy. It is a means to an end for a lot of talented young people. And that is why the New Democratic Party has determined that we cannot leave things like this to chance. We must deal with it efficiently. We must deal with it above board, that all athletes must know that if you meet a certain standard of performance, then you automatically guarantee the state will support you in your professional development. And I am so pleased to be a part of a team that is so looking after the youths of our people, of our country, and guaranteeing them a place in the future. And that launch was done at the Nutrition Netball facility on Saturday with an amazing and friendly five-a-side football competition that saw teams mainly from the southern part of the island participating in an exciting short, small goal five-a-side football that attracted quite a few young people and adults from the communities. And I want to applaud Dr. Friday and his team. We have people like Fitz, we have people like Nature, known sportsmen, but what is not as much known is our sportswomen of the team, because everyone knows of the prowess of Chevron John, particularly in netball. But Colin, apparently not a lot of people know of the skills and talents of your own representative in East St. George, Laverne Gibson Vellox, particularly in netball and so forth. But I'm sure when she joins us, if she gets on the program today, she would elaborate more on that. So we do have a team of sports enthusiasts. Of course, I love sports, but I'll be the first to admit I am not a cricketer. I am not a footballer. I can't run. I can't do high jump. In fact, I represented Miller House in grammar school, and I never made a standard point. Despite trying to run, throwing the discus, the high jump. No, I have to say, I never made the mark in sports. I love sports. And maybe it's unfortunate that the domino hasn't reached the right level of competition yet, because that's the one I'm most comfortable with in excelling. But I am a sports enthusiast, and the funny thing is I'm quite knowledgeable about the sports, particularly cricket, and I follow the game wherever it is played. But I am not given to playing it at a professional level, as much as I do enjoy the sports. But again, thanks to the team in the New Democratic Party for the vision, and it is coming out of the what really drives the New Democratic Party, Colin. It's looking at the needs of our people and fashioning programs that will allow people to reach the pinnacles that they can reach in the most seamless manner. I am just tired of seeing people with their sick ones who have to go and do raffle sheets, who have to put on barbecue, who have to do all kind of silly things to make a few $1,000s with the hope of sending their loved one off for some surgery overseas or some kind of specialized treatment that is not locally available. And I'm saying, if we are a people that recognize each one as a human being. We are not, our resources are not limitless, but we must make the mechanisms available to all of us, that we must know if something does happen and we meet certain criteria, the state will automatically come to your assistance. Not because you know some friend of a minister or that you are related to the prime minister or one of his bosom buddies. That is not the way a country of civilized people should operate. The mechanisms should be such that as of intention, if you meet certain criteria established in advance, then automatically the public service must be able to process your request and you must get accession to the assistance that the state has to offer, because the state resources are paid for by each and every one of us, and it should not be limited to those favored few. That is what pains me most about what goes on in this country. And the New Democratic Party is going to administer systems that would make all of us feel very comfortable. And don't forget, Colin, in the area of health, we keep talking about the National Health Insurance Service, and the idea of that again is that every Vincentian who becomes ill should have that service available to them. If you're working, you make your contribution to the service. If you are not working, then the state makes a contribution on your behalf so that you qualify to get that service from the public health facility here in St. Vincent the Grenadines if you get sick. And that's the kind of programs that the New Democratic Party wants to put in place. First of all, to enhance the level of delivery of health care, and then to make it available to people without having to go through hoops. It is not right and just that you have to send your daughter to the Taj Mahal or up the flight of stairs to beg somebody to help your daughter, your aunt, your mother who is dying, to get some assistance so that they can get the treatment they deserve as a human being. The New Democratic Party wants to level the playing field and improve our efficiency of delivery so that we can do the best with the resources we have. And so that ceremony at the Nutrition Netball Center, Colin, the details will continue to be brought out by people like Fitz and Nature and Lavon, Gibson Bellocs, who would all expound on the details associated with this very, very important development. I also want to remind of a major happening in Bayabu on the weekend, Colin. It's the launching of our latest candidate in South Windward. That is going to be a magnificent event. We are so pleased with the democratic process involved in the selection of our candidates, and to see that the whole team is rallying behind Andrew John, who served this country as a principal in almost every corner of that constituency, and who has worked assiduously with the teachers union and similar organization. And I know he is going to bring home that seat to the New Democratic Party. So his candidacy will be launched at a function in Bayabu on the weekend, and we're looking forward very much to it. I'll rest there for now, Colin, and we go on.
All right. I think it's a good time now for us to take the quick commercial break. And then when we come back, we will come back with more here on the New Times program with the Honorable Daniel Cummings. So stay with us, ladies and gentlemen. We take the break and we'll be right back.
This March 14, National Heroes Day, the Block 2000 Old Montrose Community Group in the Hennessy Starlift Steel Orchestra under the auspices of the parliamentary representative, the Major, once more invite you to Block 2000.
shall I fear? Hear me now, the Lord is my light and my salvation. Tell me, whom shall I fear? The Lord is my strength, the strength of my life. Tell me, whom shall I fear? Come on, Christians, step on the enemy, step on the enemy. Crush the serpent, trample the dragon. Under my feet, him under my feet. Under my feet, me say him under my feet. Step on the enemy, step on the enemy. Crush the serpent, trample the dragon. Under my feet, him under my feet. Under my feet, he say him under my feet. Yeah. Come on, Christian. Trample the devil. Crush the devil. Come on. Listen. Plead my cause, oh Lord, with those who strive with me.
Welcome back to the New Times program, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, we welcome back, hopefully, our viewers on social media. Um, Not quite sure what has happened, but for those of you listening via the New Times program, we are still here. But I'm not quite sure. I'm not going to jump to any conclusions yet, but there may be issue with Facebook presently. Persons may be trying to attempt to continue to log on to Facebook or view on Facebook and are not getting on. I don't want to jump to any speculations here, but maybe Facebook may be possibly down at this present point in time, and that may be a shock and a surprise to persons. But like I said, I'm not going to speculate here. Maybe it's just an internal issue, but to our viewers on Facebook, we lost our viewers on Facebook, but we're still up on YouTube. So I don't know if many of you may want to check your Facebook. A few of the ladies here in the office have already noticed that they too as well have been signed out of their and not able to log in. When you try to log on to Facebook, it's telling you that the site is not available. So we don't know if that is a global thing or if it's just something specific to us here in the studio at present, but we'll have to wait. But still, to our viewers on YouTube and to our listeners on Nice Radio, we welcome you back to the New Times program. We took the commercial break and we're back with the Honorable Daniel Cummings, who is here with us. And already we have a call coming in. I don't know. Maybe we should take this call quickly. Let's go to the phone line and let's see who we have. Caller, welcome to the program. Hello.
Morning. I was just going to let you know, it seems as if Facebook has crashed because mine has crashed too.
Yours has crashed as well. All right. So it seemed like there may be a global problem right now, presently with Facebook. We noticed that momentarily here in the studio, but I didn't want to jump to any speculations. Maybe it was just us here in the studio, but I guess now you have called to confirm that it's maybe a case of Facebook may have crashed.
I am glad you confirmed for me because I thought it was mine.
Well, it happened here to me. So I asked the ladies in the studio, and they both confirmed that they are unable to get into log into their Facebook as well. So that's why I didn't want to jump to conclusions. I thought that maybe it's just something specific to us here in the studio with a connectivity. But now you have called, maybe you have confirmed to us that maybe Facebook is indeed actually down.
Yes, it's that way.
Yeah. All right.
The backup.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. So with that being said, I guess that means that we have lost our Facebook viewers to the New Times program here, because I did see the viewership drop dramatically as well. So that may have confirmed that for us here on the program. So Mr. Cummings, yes, we welcome back to the program as we continue the discussion. I know you took the commercial break, took the opportunity to go and check on your roti. How is everything going there?
Pretty good, Colin. And I let me thank you, Colin, for playing that theme song for me. It is a song that means a whole lot to me, deeply spiritual and well-meaning. And every time I hear it, I get a lift in the spirit. So thanks for playing that song.
All right, much appreciated. Well, let's go back quickly. You were at the launch event and on Saturday. just your personal experience in terms of what was it like at that launch event for the New Democratic Party, the National Athletes Program launch event for the NDP?
There are two aspects of it that stand out in my mind, Colin. First of all, the game, the football game, the enthusiasm of the participants from across the country in the five-a-side football game was extremely high. And the reaction, the other component is the reaction to the NDP's main event. That is the launch of the program for assisting sportsmen and sportswomen who meet a particular standard. On both counts, people were extremely impressed and happy. And it speaks to the way the New Democratic Party is reaching the hearts and minds of the people of this country. The five-a-side football was something that a lot of people are yearning for, any opportunity to gather and have good, clean fun, and the trophy presentation took place after. Of course, every person who participated in that football tournament received some kind of reward, with, of course, the winner getting the bigger prize and a trophy. So it was a particularly good day for West Kingston and for NDP in St. Vincent and the Grenadines generally. I am sure that other parts of the country and in the Grenadines will be seriously considering hosting similar football tournaments as we expand on taking the message to the community and getting the involvement, the participation of sports people in shaping the way this project, this support for professionals will be coming forward. To make sure that they understand what they have to do in order to get the kind of support needed to become a professional sportsman and sportswoman. If you listen, Colin, to the people who were there on Saturday, and you can see the excitement in their hearts for this very positive development, because everyone is remembering what this athlete in the United States had to do in order to gain the attention of the fellow we got here. And I wish to thank ECGC and Correas for coming to the rescue of this young lady. And I'm saying never again in our country should we see an athlete have to stoop to that level in order to gain the kind of support that she so thoroughly deserves. Any Caribbean country with leaders who cherish its people would be so proud to have an athlete like that. That, I mean, her needs would have been, financial needs would have been addressed a long time ago. But that she has to go to that level to gain some kind of assistance from this country is in itself a bloody disgrace. And we hope this will never happen again in our country. And so long as the New Democratic Party is in government, this cannot and will not happen. An athlete of that caliber who meets a certain standard will automatically get the support from the state to reach the level that they can.
All right, great. We're now just about 10 minutes away from the 11 o'clock hour. Just to give our curious listeners an update, have some more messages coming in here confirming. One of our viewers on the YouTube channel is now confirming that they too in Barbados are unable to connect to Facebook as well. And it seems like there are some stories circulating that there seems to be a global crash of the Facebook and Instagram. So for those of you who may be trying to log on or to log into your accounts and finding it difficult, that may answer some of your questions today while you are listening here on the New Times program. So just to confirm, there seem to be a global crash of both the Facebook and Instagram platforms for persons who've been trying to log on and to get on. We should be joined shortly by the Honorable Terence Oliver, the elected representative for the constituency of the Southern Grenadines. He should be joining us here on the program, so just bear with us for a second. Let me try and make the connection with the Honorable Terence Oliver here on the New Times program. Let me see if I can get him via the phone line. So just bear with me here for a second while we try to make the connection with the Honorable Terence Oliver. Make sure I have him on the right channel here. Terence, are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you, Colin. Good morning.
Good, great, wonderful. Glad to have you. Joining us now, the Honorable Terence Oliver, the elected representative for the New Democratic Party for the constituency of the Southern Grenadines. Welcome. Glad to have you.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, Mr. Cummings.
Morning, my brother. Good to hear you.
Okay. I must also say, bring greetings to all the persons who are listening via Nice Radio and other media platform. It's good to be on Nice Radio here today with you discussing the various topics that you are discussing. I must lend my support to the initiative that was launched last weekend there in West Kingston at the Nutrition Court, Mr. Cummings. It's certainly, it shows the intent of the New Democratic Party to support our young people, not just talk young people, but support our young people and create the avenue and the support whereby they can succeed. And with the help of a new Democratic Party government, we know that they would succeed as long as they are given that financial and other support that they need to do so. And while you know the issue of Shafika Maloney came to hand, I must also highlight a young man from Union Island who is in Jamaica and who's training, trying to meet the Olympic qualification time. He represents St. Vincent and the Grenadines at the NACA in games in Costa Rica, under 18 and under 20 games in Costa Rica, and he just narrowly, missed out of a medal. He had the fastest qualifying times in the heats, but just missed out on a medal. Presently, as I said, he is in Jamaica. He's doing very well, extremely well. At last weekend, he ran and he was just over 10 seconds, I think, if that is what they call it. Last year he had the fastest 100 meter time for any athlete in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And surely this is a young man that we must invest in, make sure that he gets all that he needs to take him to the next level. He has qualified. I think one of the teams in Jamaica is carrying him to the 10 games in the United States. And there are so many young people out there who are excelling in the different areas, and we need to give them that support. And it is our guarantee in the New Democratic Party that we will give young people, whether it's in the field of sports, whether it's education, wherever you feel you are, that the New Democratic Party will give you that support and financial need that you need in order to take you to the next level. Mr. Cummings, I don't know if you want to comment on that.
Yeah, it demonstrates what we've been talking about, Terence. It adds to the equation. There are a number of young people with tremendous potential, and we must never forget that our sporting facilities here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines are extremely rudimentary, particularly when it comes to athletics. And a lot of these youngsters, given a chance on proper turfs and so forth, they come up to mark and reach the highest standards. So we need to encourage these young people and give them the support. Once we see them having the raw talent, we need to make sure they get the right support. It's not just a matter of assisting with a ticket and accommodation to go. These people have to have to have the right coaching, they have to have the right meals, they have to have the right persons to advise them on different aspects of their life. This is a serious area of development. It's a professional development that we are looking at, and that is why the New Democratic Party is taking this exercise very, very seriously. If you're showing the potential, meeting the right standard, the state will come to your assistance to make sure you get the right level of support so you can reach to the highest level possible.
Yeah, Mr. Cummings, and the young man from Union Island who's in Jamaica, he has promised me that he is going to make the qualification time
There you go.
for the Olympics. His
There you go.
training, he said, is on track. His time is improving with each outing he makes, and we in Union Island, and I'm sure the whole of St. Vincent and the Grenadines are giving him, giving him that support so that he can represent us on in the Olympic
World stage.
arena. Yeah.
Excellent.
Mr. Cummings, you also spoke about the five-a-side and said you hope other constituencies or the areas of St. Vincent and the Grenadines will take up that. Well, in Canada, there's a vibrant five-a-side competition happens yearly. And when I truly look at the event, I am thinking that maybe coming out of it, we can have a national five-a-side competition. Maybe we can have it in zones, and then the winners of the different zones come together for the finals for the eventual winner. So maybe that is something we can look forward to. Since we started, then we can complete it. What do you think?
Absolutely. Wonderful idea.
Something like that can come on stream. Just so people, we are not only there to show you what can be done and what a new Democratic Party can do. We do when we are in government, but we can also take the lead in
now.
that some of these initiatives come on track. Even while we are in opposition, we can organize and do some of these things, giving our young people the time to also come together. And when they come together, Mr. Cummings, not only for sports, they can also share their views, what is happening in the various constituency, what they like to see, what they like to do, and we can help them also in that regard.
Gentlemen, let me ask you this. Why is it that you think that this ULP administration doesn't see the economical value from sports and culture in this country?
Well, Colin, I can't think for them and I can't answer for them. But I can say to you, under the New Democratic Party, we have seen the value of that. And we have always been talking about that. When you listen to Fitz, when you listen to Velox at a presentation in New York, when you listen to Friday, when you listen to, the whole NDP team, and when we look at young people in terms of sports, in terms of culture, to see that we can just harness these talents in order to put the St. Vincent and the Grenadines on the map, because St. Vincent has a wealth of talent in different areas of sports, as you say, in culture and all of that. I've been involved in culture for a very long time, and I know from a Grenadines perspective, we are so rich in that. Look, for example, at Carifta, we had a dance team, a dance troupe from Union Island representing us at those at Carifta in Trinidad when last it was held. When you look at the different dance troops throughout Kingston and other areas of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, you can see the immense talent. And I would have thought that you would have had some, when you look around the world and you see the sort of programs that are on television, the sort of competition, giving young people that the avenue to express themselves and to show what they can do. And you look at St. Vincent and the Grenadines and you're asking yourself, well, what is happening here? Why are our young people out there? Why are our people not given the same sort of playing field, the same sort of opportunities that are happening in other countries to excel in areas of dance and sports and culture? You can even look at the in terms of our inter-primary and secondary school sports for years. I think 2 years on a straight, and they end up runner-up last year. The Stephanie Brown Primary School have excelled in that competition. But come and look at the park. See what the people from the children from Union Island, or the Stephanie Brown, Mary Hutchinson, Union Island Secondary School. See where they train. I know last year a number of them come to run it when they went to run at the games. They have problems, ankle problems, this, that, because the field where they're running after every minute you have to take stone and sand and different things to be stopping up crab holes and all of that in the park in which you have to run. But they are doing well, and all we are asking for is a proper park. I've been talking about this year ago, year come sometime election time. Yeah, they're walking around looking for where place we can put a park, where place, and after that it's done. But you have our young people showing that they can excel and do as well, do very well. That we don't have a proper facility, we don't have proper facilities, much less what we can do if we have that facility. And the same young man, he came out of Union Island from the same park. I'm talking about in Jamaica. We need to give our people the opportunity to excel. And as I said before, Colin, I want to stress on the programs and opportunities, maybe the competitions among young people in terms of, I have seen in some countries where they have dance and other cultural competitions among secondary schools, among villages, and so, what happened to us? What are we doing to make sure that we expose our young people culturally and in the sporting arena to give them the opportunity that they need to excel?
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. Colin, you asked why the ULP not doing anything. Let me do like my friend Terence and relate to West Kingston. Remember the one hard court we had in the Rose Place area? They took it over. They closed in the whole beachfront. The Victoria Park is not accessible to the people. Several years ago, they said they put down a hard court at Lowman's, right at the junction. That has never been officially opened, and nobody has access to use it. So one has to ask, why do they build these things? It's all about making their party look like they're doing something, but it's never driven by the needs of the people. If it were, then the people would be determining what is the best location to put such a facility. And they would have the keys to operate it so that the young people would always have access to it. You build these things without having any discussion and then lock them up, leave them locked up 24/7. So nobody has access to them. What is the point? That is what they're about, Colin. It's just as they did in agriculture, you know. If people are independent and doing well from agriculture, they don't have to go cap in hand. The ULP loves to keep people poor. They want dependent people who they could starve and wait until the election bell rings and dip into the treasury and give them little trinkets and expect them to support them. That is how they function. They're not driven by the needs of our people. The NDP is the complete opposite. All our programs come from the bowels of the people. The desires of the heart of the people are what we are looking after. And it's easy for us to do because, Colin, we meet with the people on a regular basis.
Right.
We listen to the people. We hear from them. We are the people. I was mentioning earlier, for example, that our sports enthusiasts, everybody knows of Fitz and Nature in soccer and cricket and so on, respectively, and Chevron in netball. But your own Lavon Velox has excelled and represented the country in a number of areas. Still having records in high jumping, in netball and table tennis for managers and so on. And in sports administration, she has been involved quite a bit. So our people are rooted in sports and understand the role that sports play in the development of our people. There's no wonder, therefore, that our programs will be based on helping our people to reach to the heights that they can.
But both of you mentioned. Go ahead, Terence.
Before you go forward, I want to show you something. Years ago, a Grenadines netball competition was started in under the New Democratic Party. I think it was under the auspices of the Governor General then, what's his name, Sir Charles Antrobus. And it provided the avenue for a number of our young women from the Grenadines to excel in the sports, so much so that some of them improved so much that they got the opportunity to represent St. Vincent and the Grenadines on the regional and at the regional and international level. What happened to that competition? You found that it was said it was and it was carried out under the Ministry of Sports. They were partly, they were responsible for the administrative part of the whole thing, involving also Keraku, the Keraku which belongs to Grenada. But you found, because I got involved in politics and lending my support to the competition, it was said that I am benefiting from the competition. I don't play netball. The young ladies from the Southern Grenadines were benefiting from the competition, and the funding through there stopped. I remember one year the competition stopped in the middle of the competition where they used Gemstar to transport the teams, and they couldn't get the funding to continue with the competition, and this happened under a ULP government who say
Wicked.
they care for young people and they care for sports in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And this was what they did to the young women of the Grenadines from Beckway come right down to Union Island. And as I said, Keraku was out of Grenada, the islands that belong to Grenada, they also participated in this competition. Lo and behold, you also had the Grenadines basketball competition, because they used to say Union Island is a mecca of all basketball. At one point in time, any team representing St. Vincent and the Grenadines in basketball, most of the players came from Union Island. We have seen the fortunes of O'Donnell Foyle. We have also seen where some people from the island of Beckway got the opportunity to play basketball, professional basketball abroad, went to colleges and so to earn a degree and to play the sports also. I think he had a couple individuals from the island of Canavan. But what has happened to that competition too? Under the ULP, it has failed. It was going good, it was going proper in terms of sponsorship and giving that opportunity to our young people. This is the same party that say they care for young people and their development. But what have you done? You stopped a competition in full flight because you think that the people giving their support to the representative, when the representative only going there to support the young people and to encourage them to do well, and you can go far, and how far you can reach in the sports. We had so many marvelous and exciting players coming out of the Southern Grenadines. I could talk about Nicolette Snag out of Canawan. You could talk about the sisters, the Garden sisters out of Beckway. You talk about Chanel Tittle out of Union Island. We had so many good players, and now because they kill the sport, the young people like if there's a downturn in the excitement to play sports anymore, because when they look at the opportunity, it is very little. And we need to revive these competition. We need to give our young people the opportunity to excel.
Now, when they normally like to complain when we make comparisons, and we shouldn't draw comparisons and all. But let's look at Jamaica. Jamaica is one of the Caribbean islands that are looked at as not just iconic when it comes to reggae, but iconic when it comes to sports and sports personality. Shelley Fraser-Pryce, Usain Bolt, the levels at which they perform on the athletics field, the recognition that they bring to their country, as well as the economic benefits that they bring to their country, and the inspiration that they pass on to other young athletes. Why are we not seeing that same level of recognition for our athletes? Is it that we don't think that our athletes can bring the same type of international recognition and economic benefits to our country like the likes of Usain Bolt and Shelley and Fraser-Pryce?
But Colin, Mr. Cummings spoke about it, and I mentioned his name. Look at the exploits of Donald Floyd, and he got that because the platform was laid within Vincent and the Grenadines, and he was spotted, and he was then used. So I won't say used. He was spotted, and then he was given the
Promoted.
opportunity to to um to excel in his chosen field. The same thing can happen in athletics because I have seen a number of young persons, as someone who frequent at athletics meet because of especially the primary and secondary and whatever, and then we look at the competitions that's happening in Jamaica and other parts of the world. And I know that if our young people are given the same sort of platform in order to train and launch their careers, or proper trainers, coaches, and all of that, they can do the same because we have seen where we have persons who have come out of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines and have done well internationally, not only in sports, also in music. Look at Wetty Beats. And others who are excelling, a young man out of Union Island also, Wetty Beats, excelling worldwide. All they need is the opportunity and the platform to do so. And we must create those avenues for our young people. We just not only talk it, don't only talk the talk, but we need to walk the walk and do what is necessary in order to help them to succeed.
All right.
Couldn't agree with you more. Colin, I keep saying you have to care about people to understand the importance of these programs. The ULP is driven by getting votes, not about the development of our people. That is the big difference between the two parties. Our objective is about lifting the level of our people, equal, leveling the playing field, creating opportunities across the board, and helping young people to achieve what their potentials are. And that has got to be driven by a passion, a love of people. And that is not existent in the ULP. It's about how they can use people. It's how they can jump on a bandwagon. Look at what happened to the young lady in a desperate plight. All in a sudden, they want to consider themselves champions because two businesses have agreed to support her. Where were you? Where were you as a government when she needed it?
We have a caller. Let's take this call. Let's see. We have caller. Welcome to the program. Hello.
Good morning, Karen.
Welcome.
My Samo
Good to hear you, man.
and the Honorable Olivier.
Good day, sir.
Now, let me bring something to the. I was listening to Sportsmark. Where the guy was interviewing the Prime Minister. Nobody to some of the ladies they wanted the help. And the we answered many questions. The Prime Minister make a statement and he got me bankrupt now. He said like this. The stone that the builder refused. He said, I'm quoting the Bible, that way he said. The stone that the builder refused come the head cornerstone. I want to know what you have used that word.
Well, the question is, who is the builder? Who is the builder? He was the builder when she needed help.
And that word they got a big meaning. If you can say, the stone that the builder refused and say a quote in the Bible become the head cornerstone.
It's amazing.
What is the reason for you saying that when they was interviewing you with the young lady?
Yeah.
The young lady failed to represent you or your party?
Yeah.
Driving.
But he's proven what we're saying, that he was in a position. He was the builder. He's the one who should have selected
he made
her.
another statement again.
Yeah.
He was addressing a meeting from the bookman. He said like this. You think they want to go out there and bring in 20 pound of snapper and company bayside council standard? They think standard don't want them. No one asking the question. Prime Minister, is now you supposed to put things in place. So when the boat them go out, they will bring in the 20 pound of snapper. They could sell it to the fish market directly.
Mm-hmm.
20 boat go out there. And the 20 boat bring in 20 pound of snapper for the whole week. How much pound of snapper you bring? Not about a couple pound of snapper you will get for the whole week. If you put this thing in place, and who they want to sell it to? Not the fish market. And who the fish market going to sell it to? Not standards. And who the money coming to? Not the government. If you get the money they're going. Another point again. When they have fish on Monday, and they sell up some more boat to go out there for fishing. And when they come in with the fish evening, they will wear the fish that the boat bring. And after done their dress, they will tell you how much pound of fish they bring in for the day. You don't think if the Prime Minister putting in place and saying with those 40 boats to go out there and tell them wherever fish they bring in, they will sell it direct to the fish market. So the fish market will got those fish there that we could sell to standards. Where the money is going? Who the money is coming to? Not the government or employees that the government could get it for spend.
Mm-hmm.
Eh?
Yeah.
If you put down the bank that 3 or 4 fellows could go to and get assistance from the bank that the NDPC will put down there. And they get that money and they go out there and buy a big boat that could stay on the water for a week or two. And you sign up the same boat, the same fish market, that whatever fish they bring in, they will buy it direct from them. When they go out, then they bring these thousands of pounds of fish. And they sell that to the fish market. This time they could buy all them fish there, then they will get some to buy, and they will have fish to sell it about 2 or 3 containers from America and to bring in foreign currency.
That's the lack of
So
vision there.
when you bring the millions of dollars, what are you going? They're into the government treasury that the government will have to spend.
Yeah. That's the lack of the vision they have. But anyhow, thank you.
So when I listen to the Prime Minister, this is knowledge that I have.
All right. All right, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you much.
All right. So we're going to move along. Of course, the phone lines are open. You can feel free to call us and interact with us here on the New Times program. Of course, the numbers 456-5967. That's the local number 456-5967. That number again, 456-5967. You can reach out to us via the Magic Jack. That number is 718-734-5615. 718-734-5615. You can reach out to us via the Magic Jack too as well. On the line, we have the Honorable Daniel Cummings, Chairman of the New Democratic Party, elected representative for the constituency of West Kingstown. Also with us, the New Democratic Party's elected representative for the Southern Grenadines, the Honorable Terence Oliver, is also with us here on the program. We're about 20 minutes after the 12 o'clock hour. Gentlemen, I think we could take the lunchtime commercial break, and then we will come back with more here on the New Times program. So stay with us, ladies and gentlemen. We take the break, and we'll be back.
This March 14, National Heroes Day, the Block 2000 Old Montrose Community Group in the Hennessy
Welcome back to the New Times program, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you back. Those of you listening on Nice Radio and those of you viewing, of course, on social media, we welcome you back to the program. And of course, with us, we have the Honorable Daniel Cummings, who's there with us on the program, along with the Honorable Terence Oliver, who's with us on the line too as well. And every time we take a commercial break, ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Daniel Cummings make sure he runs off to the kitchen to check on his conch roti. So I have to find out now, seeing that we have Terence with us. Terence, you the major supplier of the conch, Mr. Cummings, conch roti?
Hello?
You heard me, Terence? No, Cummings said he was busy in the kitchen making up some conch roti, so I was just wondering if you were the major supplier of the conchs.
He usually is, but not this time.
Yeah, like he has other avenues, boy.
So, gentlemen, welcome back. And of course, as I said, the phone lines are open. Please feel free to call and to interact with us here on the New Times program. The number is 456-5967. That's the local number, 456-5967. Of course, for those of you in the diaspora, you can reach out to us via the Magic Jack. That number is 718-734-5615. That's 718-734-5615. The phone lines are open, so feel free to jump in here with us anytime on the New Times program today. Terence, I don't know if there are any particular constituency matters that you would like to raise that you haven't as yet here on the program today.
Yes, Colin. In the last parliament, I raised the issue of the waterfront area where the fishermen and the business people down there at that location suffering from anytime you have rising in tide, anytime you have high tide, you have a problem where businesses are being flooded by the sea, and there seem to be no relief for the people who operate business in that area.
Mm-hmm.
I brought that to the attention of the parliament, and let me put it this way: I was not pleased in terms of the answer that was given, because I know the people in the area are looking for relief as to what can be done to relieve their plight.
Mm-hmm.
And what was stated is after you've done the number of investigations and all of that, and the studies, and to see what can be done. But I was told that the particular issue was in the I haven't one of them to check it yet, but somebody told me that that particular issue was in the ULP manifesto 2010,
Mm-hmm.
but nothing was done from that time to now, and the people are they're still suffering and in need of relief. I mean, sometimes I have seen videos, and I have been on hand at times to see the high levels of the water, and there seem to be no assistance in coming on stream. As a matter of fact, one of the persons affected in the area said to me that it seems that you have to have a certain card in order to get assistance, because some people are told you could go ahead and do what you can to to back up the water on such occasions. So you could build what you can, and then while others are attempting to do so, they are being stopped. But we really need to look at the area. I took Dr. Friday there already on his last visit to Union Island to show him this is the plight of the people in the waterfront area, and something needs to be done, even if it's on the short term. Because I remember even when Saltwater Bay, when they were saying nothing can be done and this, and the people had to come out and make a whole set of noise to get something, to get them to do something. So I hope this is not the same thing that will happen, because the people of Myro took the situation into hand and they went about trying the best what they can do in order to get that part of the thing solved. I know we had erosion already, beach erosion in the Big Sun area, and big lovely expanse of beach, and that is all gone. And I'm hoping and I'm praying that some measure of relief will come to the people of waterfront in Union. I know Mr. Cummings is an engineer. He haven't seen the area, but I guess he has knowledge about these sorts of its use. So I maybe
It
now
is
his expertise.
it is of extreme interest, Terence. It's very interesting that the young minister, in answering to your question,
You
tried to
know,
use
we
the
really. Hello?
Yes,
sorry.
Terence, you're not hearing him?
Yes. So that is something that is in need of urgent attention.
All
And
right.
as usual, Farid, in terms of port development, we are still at the same area. I mean, what is stopping this government
Mhm.
from really looking at the ports in the southern Grenadines and improving them? Because it's not only affecting the livelihood of the people in the Grenadines, on a day-to-day basis, but it's affecting our tourism product. I know, for example, in Canada, when some of the yachties try to get a show, we had to be complaining and talking time and time for them to even at least climb upon, because when they don't go ashore, like say Canawan and so, to get their supplies, they leave and they go to St. Lucia or Grenada and support the businesses there, because they have proper facilities, and the people of the southern Grenadines who depend on tourism also need for the government to fix what is necessary. The wharf, I mean, the wharf, especially in Canon, has been going on for so long. That situation has been there a very long time. And more you talk, more you complain, nothing seems to be done. And as a matter of fact, we have improvement in ferry service to the islands. And so much so, it is now inadequate in terms of Canon, both Canon and Myro, Union Island, because when one ferry boat is in, the other has to wait, and the other one just get in. You have to wait a very long time before they can also get in to upload. How in a modern living, modern world, you have where only one ferry could dock at a time, and the others have to wait until that one is finished before it can go in. Whether you're coming or you're going, the situation is the same.
Backward. Terence, it's interesting in response to your question that the young minister mentioned a project that was started over 30 years ago and used that as a reason for the problem you're having. You want to tell me somebody like that just getting into power? That project probably wasn't there when she was born, and using that as an excuse for not dealing with the vexing problem of Union Island and the stagnant water and the other attendant issues. I mean, that kind of politics is so disgusting, it isn't funny. They have been in government for more than 23 years now, and going back to an issue that pre-existed them as a reason why they can't solve this problem. That is shameful.
Very much so. Very, very, very much so. So when you come to the southern Grenadines and you look at infrastructural development, it's a far cry. I thought Mr. Cummings making mention of health. Now you're in the southern Grenadines. If you're in the southern Grenadines and you get sick, sometimes I know people get very scared, because even if you have to take the transportation to go to St. Vincent, you have to battle on the it's a small dinghy like Coast Guard, because the Medivac which they bought, they said it is not
Mhm.
it doesn't seem to be proper. to carry people when they're sick. So you have to go in the small coast guard, and man, when you're there, you know a patient. I went to visit a patient in hospital last week, and she said coming up on this coast guard, it was terrible. They have to be saying, slow down, slow down, slow down, because when it is rough, that mode of transportation is not
Do
is
more
not
harm than good.
Mm.
to the mainland. Come on, we must do better. The last time we close to election, you purchased this Medivac and you said it was for purposes like that, and it only worked for what some months, and it's not there anymore, and it's something else that have to be used. And the small coast guard that is in Canavan, it's man, sometimes talking about these issues,
Painful.
we
Painful.
some time ago, God had to go to the same one to transport a patient, and because of the height of the wharf and the coast guard couldn't back up one side, they couldn't get the patient down below, and the road which they were going to fix through the coast guard so long, years upon years, never fixed. They now see that it is important for them to fix that road, because in terms of even transporting patients to the mainland, it is very difficult. We need proper facilities, walking facilities, proper boats, proper, just a far cry
Mhm.
when you live in and you experience these things for yourself, and you realize treatment that is meted out to the people of the Southern Grenadines. You ask yourself, why? Why? Your blood, pulling blood. Get up very early in the morning to go to the health center to pull blood for them to put it in a what you call those things, ice box, to send to mainland St. Vincent. Sometimes they refuse to pick it up. You have to get them to do this pulling of blood. In terms of emergency, doctors waiting and this infusion. What do you do? Okay, in 2001, they said they will put containerized laboratories, can one and Union Island. The containerized laboratories are there, but it's not operational. So the same thing continue again and again. The cries of the people continue. Basic health care, even pulling of blood, pulling of blood to test to see what the doctors to make a determination as to what to do.
And to see that during the last general election campaign, and even before that, when the Honorable Daniel Cummings and members of the NDP presented the plans for the National Health Center and state-of-the-art hospital with the helipad and national insurance, persons selfishly and petty and political made it about, it looked like Farmville. But you see how much in need of that sort of facility, that helipad, this country needs, and to see that the some made it petty, personal politics just because they support a political party or political organization that couldn't even present anything better for the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You wonder why sometimes persons are so angry when the issue of healthcare comes up in this country.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's a painful matter to
Yeah.
discuss.
Gentlemen, as promised, I really have some pressing matters to go and handle. So I think at this point in time, I wish I could stay the whole program, but I really have to go off to do something.
Understandable. Terence, well, again, we thank you so very much for joining us here on the program, as always. And we look forward to hearing from you again next week.
All the best, my bro, and good
Thank you.
luck with your project.
Okay.
At that same time, we have a caller coming in. Let's take this caller. Let's see who we have. Caller, welcome to the program. Hello.
Good day, Colin. Good day, Mr. Cummings. And I'm so sorry that I missed Terence. Terence I remember being in Canawan. I was living in Canawan. I worked in Canawan. I was a part of getting all those roads going around to the Gulf side and so forth cut around there. I was the person who was supposed to be transporting the workers, the tractor man and all the other workers and so forth. And the people of Canawan, when that project was going on, was out working and so forth. I even as being down there, I even started a football tournament. Terence was part of that. Terence was part of that down there, that activity. And we had a football, and we played those sort of sport down there, and it was a big rising up of a sporting event down there with football. Don't take care of Terence, he's a good runner and a good player, He took part in that, and we had a great time down there. And to see that the people of Canawan, all those roads that cut down there, Colin, I was a part of that. I even have a big daughter. My big daughter, let me say good morning to my daughter, Shanice. My daughter is down there, and she's doing so wonderful down there. And I have a big granddaughter in Canawan, so I know of the Canawan people. I know what they were going through. I know they strive down there. I was living down there. I was part of down there activities. It is not now when that project they've been asking for the wharf, the fixing of the wharf and so forth. You think it's easy? With those people used to have to take a small boat to go out to get onto the big ferry. They used to have to use a small boat to get out. They had all these small boats rowing, going out with people load and all things. They have to climb up on the side of those big boats to go up. Old women and all these things. The Canawan people did a lot they want to get out of that. It's a long time. Those people struggle climbing up on boat and from small boat onto the big ferries to get out of Canawan. And now that they have an opportunity to get a wharf and proper facility down there, you're still suffering the people down there like that. I mean, come on, this government right now, Mr. Cummings, I know you're still there. What is happening actually right now, this government, they don't care nothing about the people here in Siblings, Yeah. All they want to do now is, right now, they are mounting a political campaign right now, Colin, as we speak. This is a campaign boost that this government is going on with because they want to be re-elected into this government again. But we can't allow that. This government, it's time for this government to go because all what they are doing here now, look at the roads. I have talked about the trees that was overhanging on this road for how long. And they wait until you have a delegate coming here. They have people coming in to say, I cut tree to make the place look good. So what happened to the local Vincentian people who want the place to look good for themselves? We need the road fixed for the people to drive on. We're paying license and all these sort of things, insurance and all these sort of things to drive on the road, to be on the road. And only when a delegate coming here to something in the whole to make the road look like if you're doing a whole wonderful work to make the people who come in here eyes look that, oh, yes, the government is doing good. But the people who they are suffering and facing it, we can't get our jobs done. We can't get the roads and so forth fixed, the trees cut for our own looks, for the country to look good.
Right.
I mean, this is so heartbreaking, and the motivation that they had with these people up and down the road, long lines of traffic and so forth. You, the people who wants to get home, have to pull aside to allow them to pass. I mean, we don't understand if visitors come here, yes, you want to get to point, but this long line of traffic you have following you all around the places.
All right.
Look at the amount of transport. And Colin, before I go, there is a song, and this song, I will guarantee you, when you play this song, right, you're going to see what I'm talking about because this is what is happening in the region. And I want you to play this song by Lord Larrow, right? The wall, it's called The Wall News. You look it up and play that song for me, please.
Right,
play that song for me if you could only do that for me.
Right,
and I want Mr. Cummings and all of you to listen to that song. And that song will tell you exactly what is happening with this government and who they live with in support for partnership and support. That's a wonderful song that I would like you to play for me before this program is finished. And let the people here. Thank you. Have a good day.
All right. Thank you.
Hey, Colin, I just want to comment on the issue of preparing the state for the visit of the recent ECLAC summit. Many years ago in the early 90s, I visited Singapore. And I couldn't help noting how the road from the airport to the hotel I was staying was immaculately kept. beautiful with flowers and lining the streets and the verge real trimmed and beautiful. And then I started traveling around that island state, only to find out wherever you went in Singapore, it was the same. Not just the road from the airport to the hotel, but all the roads were immaculately kept, beautifully lined with flowers and so forth. And I say that to compare and contrast the sham that took place here recently with our visitors. You know, it points to how the government doesn't care about the people of this country. So to hell with you if your road is filled with deep potholes and the verges, the grass are coming to the point where Ralph Curtin taking up the whole half of the road. That's not important. We must go out of our way to make sure anywhere these people have to travel, the road must be fixed and the grass must be cut. That is the kind of rubbish that passes for government. And it speaks of a lack of respect for the people of this country. If you can't put your own house in order, why are you trying to prove to people? Why are you trying to look to fool visitors to make them feel that St. Vincent is such an immaculately kept country when the 99% of the country is derelict, potholes in every part of the road? But you just fix the 1% that people have to travel on. Move them between the airport and the facility, and they say, oh, St. Vincent is a beautiful place. That kind of mamagain has to be out of the window. Our people need to wake up to realize that this government really doesn't care about them, not even their own supporters. They care nothing about them. They wouldn't have that such contempt for them if they really had love in their hearts. Yep.
All right. Creeping up to the 1 o'clock hour. The phone lines are open, ladies and gentlemen. 456-5967. That's the local number you can call. 456-5967. If you're in the diaspora, we'd love to hear from you today. Call us on the program. You can call us via the Magic Jack. That's 718-734-5615. That's 718-734-5615. Or you can drop us a message via the WhatsApp. That number is 784-498-3802. That's 498-3802. Send us your messages. You can give us a call live here in the studio with the Honorable Daniel Cummings here on the New Times program today. We're just about getting ready to go into the final segment of the program where we will take your calls and interact with you. And then, of course, we'd allow the Honorable Daniel Cummings to make his final comments and with you here on the program. So as we move on, like I said, the phone lines are now open. Please feel free to call us and jump in here at any time. Mr. Cummings, just the same as I did with the Honorable Terence Oliver, if there are any constituency matters that you would like to touch on and the remainder here of the program, I allow you now to raise those concerns with us on the program.
Thank you very much, Colin. Of course, our team on the ground in West Kingston is pushing on. We take our role very, very seriously, representing all of the people of the constituency. And as I said earlier, I am on this quest to visit every single home in West Kingston again. And we started on that exercise. But Colin, the roads in West Kingston are a living hell. I mean, I've been talking, lamenting of the fact of how long the simple piece of road into Edinburgh, not the hall leading up to Fort Charlotte, has been in such a terrible state for so long. We have spent millions of dollars on this project, millions of dollars, and what we're getting for it, God only knows. We're going absolutely nowhere fast. We have the same thing happening from the Kuwaiti Fund, the projects throughout the country. They have changed contractors. I am not aware that the money spent to the previous contractors have been recovered. They're simply giving new contracts and going back into the same thing. I just want to use this opportunity to remind the folks, especially those in Edinburgh, at the Hall, and surrounding areas. Go back to the days when NDP built a road, when John Horn, or my good friend Mr. Scott from South Leeward were in charge of road works or constituency works. You couldn't go into a community and build a road and the people who live in that area not get a job. It was a way of executing project under the New Democratic Party that if you build in a road in my community, I have to get a job on that project. Whether it be a mason, a carpenter, a laborer, a timekeeper, somebody to carry water, or laborer, whatever. These representatives made sure that the people who were involved, who lived in the communities, were involved in the project. And this is one way of ensuring that the community took an interest, active interest, in the execution of the project. And what that resulted in is a reduction in the level of theft and wastage. Because I live in a community, I want to see that road finish. I wouldn't allow for whoever to come and thief the cement or thief the sand, thief the aggregate. It was part of the community responsibility. Nowadays, when you have these guys doing projects, people come from all over, the same set of people doing projects all over the country, and the locals can't get a job. That rubbish must stop. That rubbish must stop. The community project must involve the residents of the community, and NDP government would see to that. You know, when you look at the destruction that is taking place at the Hall Marina College, where all is being used for now is to store all kinds of stuff, and the very important dry dock completely destroyed because all the maintenance mechanisms were removed. People need to understand, you know, that facility of steel was built to the highest standards where you had cathodic protection. That is to say, through a process of electrolysis, you had a piece of iron substituting for the metal frame, and the corrosion would eat that rather than eating the frame, thereby allowing the steel docking facility to remain intact. And of course, you can lift it out of the water, you can clean it, and you can paint it, you can protect it. None of that was done. The dry dock facility meant that you could take your yacht into the port at the hall, and through a series of emptying and lifting, your yacht would be brought on the solid ground out of the water so that it can be serviced underneath, inside, all over, without it being in the water. And when you finish that, you can lower it into the water without any damage at all. A world-class facility there at Otley Hall, intended to maintain not only the cargo ships, but expensive yachts with all the tools and all the trained workmen to go with it. Imagine these rogues allowing that to go to naught, totally destroyed. We are saying again, the NDP will reestablish the Otley Hall Marina and make it one of the flagship projects for St. Vincent and the Grenadines with quality employment opportunities. I can't wait for the time, Colin.
How do you see the NDP has been speaking extensively on the four pillars of the economy: agriculture, fisheries, the blue economy,
and the new economy.
And the new economy. You've been speaking quite extensively on fisheries and the treatment of our fisher folk, highlighting many of the issues plaguing our fishermen, especially in your constituency. How do you see things improving going forward under the NDP as opposed to how things have gotten badly under the ULP administration?
Well, Colin, it is cheese to chalk. You know, the bottom line is when you look at the deliverables of the ULP, it's minus. It's not even zero, it's minus. Mm-hmm. They talk, but they don't deliver. They talk, for example, about a fleet expansion. Ask yourself, where is the fleet? Zilch, nothing, none. We had one of the trawlers here. It was so badly treated that the owner had to sell it to a Grenadian. We are not embarking on the type of fishing that can bring in the millions of dollars as Grenada is doing. And we have a larger marine space than Grenada does. Because of the Grenadine Islands spread out, we have huge expanse of space there to exploit for fisheries and other things. Colin, if you're really serious about fisheries, the first thing you would have to do is to have a meaningful discussion with the people who are involved at the moment.
All right.
See
Stick
that,
up.
yeah.
Stick a pin. I think we have a call coming in. Let me take the caller. Caller, welcome to the program. Hello.
Colin, Mr. Cummings is talking about fisheries, right? I have a question for the Minister of Agriculture, right, and fisheries. Why is the vessel we had that was named the Blackjack? Thank you.
Why is what?
Ask the question again. Where I think he was asking, where is the research vessel Blackjack, named Blackjack?
Colin, these people talk a lot. That's what they do, talk a lot. Look, go back. Dr. Friday recently asked about the stuff in Montreal, the greenhouses.
Mm-hmm.
They made such a big hoorah about these greenhouses that were installed in Montreal. The question Dr. Friday asked, what are we producing from them? The answer is absolutely nothing. Nothing. All they do is talk. This was supposed to be the breakthrough in agriculture with high efficiency yield and all year round. I mean, everybody knows the benefits and advantages of greenhouse. But if you cannot get a greenhouse functioning, what are you doing in agriculture? If you come in, meet over 200 acres of arable land irrigated, using no pumping at all under the NDP government, this was done in North Waynewood, you totally destroyed that. You could tell me you're serious about agriculture. You sit down and oversaw the destruction of the banana industry with the various diseases that you allowed to plague the industry. Colin, under NDP, Marcus de Freitas was able to ship anything from St. Vincent to North America because St. Vincent was fruit fly free.
All right. We have another caller. Caller, welcome to the program. Hello.
Colin,
Yes, sir.
I had to call back. You know why? I'm talking sport here. When Major Single look up was the president of the Football Association, Major carry our team till we 70 screen the wall. Major told our team to Brazil, England, and different places in the Caribbean. Major wanted help to the team to go to play overseas. And he asked the government to assist him. The Prime Minister said he will never give him a dime, not in a single cent to put in football. Major had to partner his property in the bank in order to get money. We then do? Then trump up a whole load of team to them a team and get rid of Major. Major had to fight like a tiger in order to get back his property. How much our team? Our team gone forward or backward? How much our team is now in the world today? Now how much? 178. So, the time in this government cares about sports, but the Major they give the money. They were putting the money to help the young people. So when they talk about sports, they have no mind to do nothing for sports. They only on paper, all talk. So when they bring that to show you, the Prime Minister say wouldn't the Major have been sent to help the footballers and them in them days. Our footballers right up. The people want Team Power Bus wanted to come in the same bench with our team. For me, to be happy. And you can tell me today, you come and tell me about your sports. That's the point I want to bring.
All right.
So when you're talking about sports, them are the thing I must bring in front of them and put before them.
Yes.
But the younger people today will know nothing about what happened before. They must learn what happened before and why they should get back. This is common sense economically speaking.
All right.
Gotcha.
I'm not gone.
Okay, thank you.
Very, very important point. Their emphasis is what's in it for them. It's not what can make them look good. It's not what's good for the people. It's not what's good for the sportsmen. Quite correct.
We have
Very
another
good.
call. We have another call coming in.
Yep.
Caller, welcome to the program.
Colin, the man, forget something. Mr. Cummings, look at, we have a young lady who is second in the world in those sports, and this government did not reach out to that young lady. You heard the interview that the young lady make with the interviewer. That is a shame on our country for Prime Minister and a government to let something like that slip. And when people now choose to reach out to her, and he want to run in to say, okay, he could send you that. That is what they care about. They don't care about sports in truth. That young lady went out there and put this country, look at where she is, number 2 in the world for running. And what they didn't do nothing to help that young lady. And
Totally ignore her. Totally
Right.
ignore her.
That's all I call to remind you of too. We can't throw that under the bus.
All right,
Gotta
thank
think
you.
about that too.
Well,
Yes.
clearly, everything shows that when it comes to sports and culture, they don't see it as anything important that will contribute to the economy and the development of the economy in this country.
It's what's in it for them, Colin.
Yeah.
It's what's in it for them. It's whatever makes them look good. That's what they're excited about.
All right,
So
we're gonna
you
take.
get a company to support her and you want to take the praise, despite the fact that you neglect her for so many years.
All right, we have another call coming in from the diaspora. Caller, welcome to the program. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Welcome.
You know, I was following the Jamaica local election, and where they lost out, the present government.
Oh boy.
Ouch.
Yeah, we lost the connection there. Not sure what happened. But please feel free to call back and make your contributions. You still have time. We're just about 13 minutes after the 1 o'clock hour. So we still have a little time left here on the program with the Honorable Daniel Cummings. So my friend there in the diaspora, I don't know what happened to the connection. But if you can call us back before the end of the program, please do that so that you can make your comments. Again, the phone lines are open, ladies and gentlemen, 784-456-5967. That's the local number. You can call us via the Magic Jack 2 as well. Let's go back to the line. Let's see who we have. Caller, hello.
He is going to pay off the Alba loan.
Can you make your point from the top again, please?
Wait, man. This is your problem. Wait.
Hold on. I'm trying to tell you that we lost your connection. And if you can make your point from the top again.
Let me come to my point about this government. Maduro threatened to sue him. He says, you go ahead and sue me. Today, we have a problem in St. Vincent with integrity. Whether it be sports, whether it be finance. Up to now, we have no audited statement for how many years now. And I am saying the NDP must deal with the question of integrity, and starting with the electoral office and dealing with our finance. And that is what NDP have to be telling the people and showing them. And I'm glad the other day that Major was on dealing with that matter. And we have to continue to point out to the people where we came from when the NDP took over from Eustace, where we left it, and where we are now. Nothing is owned by Vincentian, or very little is owned by Vincentian. And we have to deal with the question of integrity. And we see it all the time when they have budget debates and so on. Take care.
All right.
Yeah, well, it would have been useful if we had gone back to make the early connection. Because
Exactly. I was trying to get him to understand that we lost connection, so we missed the fundamental part of the point that he was trying to make.
yeah,
But he didn't want to. He didn't want to wait. He seemed quite adamant to make his point and to get his point across. And
probably
now,
wasn't aware that he was
yeah.
broken.
So now we're at a loss as to exactly what the point he was trying to make. But anyhow, we will move on. 15 minutes after the 1 o'clock hour here on the New Times program, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to come down to the closure of the program. Maybe just another 15 or 20 more minutes left on the program here. We're gonna keep the phone lines open for those of you who'd like to call and interact with us here on the New Times program. Raise your questions, your comments, your concerns with the Honorable Daniel Cummings here on the New Times program.
Yeah, I'd like to, in the meantime, just shout out some of our dear friends, Colin, who have served us. Anim Eustace and his wife, top of the day to them both. Anim Eustace served as Prime Minister and served as Minister of Finance and Leader of the Opposition for a number of years, and a very distinguished Caribbean citizen. Top of the day to you, Sir Jeremiah Scott, there in Camden Park, still recovering from illness. Wish you all the very best. Colin, it's always such a joy when we go to visit Jerry. He literally comes alive and demonstrates his pleasure with seeing us. I just want you to know, Jerry, we never forget you. We're always praying for you, and we will come to visit you as often as we can. And the list goes on. You know, we have from East Kingstown, former Attorney General Carlyle Dugan. We have E. St. Jones. Jones he himself not doing too well. All these people who served the New Democratic Party and this country well. Alan Cruikshank, the list goes on. John Horn, my predecessor of blessed memory. Um, I was speaking with his daughter not too long ago, Colin, and letting her know how often people still remind me of the role that John Horn played in West Kingstown. He's still very much loved and fondly remembered by a lot of people in West Kingstown. John Horn was the kind of personality that reached across the board. It doesn't matter your politics. If John Horn could assist you, you got assistance. But just want to hail up all the people who are still alive today and let them know that we in the New Democratic Party, we don't forget you. We do appreciate the contributions that you have made, and we look forward to continuing the journey of reaching out to all of the people of this country and making their lives better. Yeah.
Right. And I think on that same note, I will allow you now to make your final comments and contributions here to the program. What would be what would you want the persons and the listeners, the viewers, to take away from everything that was said here today on the program?
Well, thank you very much, Colin. And I just want to thank you again for hosting another marvelous program. I am glad that my friend from the Southern Grenadines, my colleague Terence, could find time. As I indicated earlier, I know he is taking on a very serious project and obviously couldn't spend all the time with us, but it's good to have him participating in the program. From East Kingstown, my colleague Fitz, today is his big constituency day when he's in the office and people come to look for him. And that explains why he's not on the program today. But he was on another radio program this morning and did us extremely proud as usual. And of course, our own Lavon Velox, I wasn't able to reach her, so I don't know. She's probably in the constituency as she is wont to do. Moving about, meeting and greeting people and doing very important work. So I look forward to, always a pleasure having her join the program when we're on here today. Colin, there's a stark difference between what passes for governance in St. Vincent today under this rogue regime and what the NDP of yesteryear has done and will do when re-elected to government soon. We are people focused. All that we do is driven by the needs to have our people live better lives. We are plagued with a very high level of unemployment. We are plagued with crime that has run away and the government is unable to address. And I've often made the comment on when it comes to crime, Colin, you cannot put rat to guard cheese, nor can you ask Satan to correct sin. And that explains why we are in this melee when it comes to crime in this country. We do have a problem. The NDP's government will have a lot of work to do to correct many of the problems that lead to crime in this country, working with and through our people to lift our standards. We've had a very important launch of this sports program, guaranteeing the young people that when they meet a certain standard, that they will be financed by the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines to assist them in achieving their goals in whatever sphere of endeavor in sports. This is a major pledge that adds to the party's president, Dr. Friday's, reaching out to the young people, pledging support with respect to jobs and with respect to training. Sports is a critical component of that, and you will be hearing more and more from us on the launch of this very important development. Of course, we know that the Major on March 14th has a very important function in Central Kingstown, Heroes Day. Over the years, he's honored a lot of distinguished Vincentians across the board, from Central and other areas, and this year is no exception. Robert Patches Knight is among those to be honored on March 14th, and we salute Major and his team in Central Kingston for really highlighting the people who contribute significantly to the development of our country at the levels where it matters most. I can speak personally about Robert Patches Knight as the most selfless human being that I have come across, a former chairman of my own constituency council and always actively involved. Patches is the kind of person who would give the last penny he has to a constituent who demanded of him, even though he himself could do with help. He would not think twice about giving all that he has to help somebody. So I tell you, I'm looking forward to the March 14 event where he and several others will be honored. And of course, this weekend in Bayabu is a very important launch of our latest candidate for South Windward. And I'm encouraging my people from West Kingstown and all surrounding areas to journey with us to Bayabu for that grand event where we launch our distinguished South Windward candidate on the weekend. Colin, thank you very much. And to all the folks in West Kingston, weather permitting, we'll be continuing our walkabout this afternoon and for the rest of the week. Thanks. Okay. Have a good day.
Thank you very much. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You just heard from the New Democratic Party's elected representative for the constituency of West Kingstown, the Honorable Daniel Cummings. He joined us here on the New Times program for today. It was my pleasure being here with you on the program too as well. I was your host today, Colin Graham, but is back and he would be your host tomorrow. So we encourage you to tune in for another edition of the New Times program tomorrow too as well. We thank you so very much for viewing. We thank you so very much for tuning in and listening to us here on the New Times program on Nice Radio. Until next time, may the Most High continue to guide us and protect us all. Thank you very much and God bless.